I got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. Let's see here. Let's go to the Gmail. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a new year. Yeah, I probably can't do that. You guys ever overextend yourself and then make a bunch of plans, and then when actually people call to like follow up on those plans, you just can't make it anymore? That's basically me right now. I have overextended myself. And that's part of my New Year's goals. I'm not doing that shit anymore. I'm just gonna quietly ask everybody to kind of leave me alone. Is it just me or is there nobody in here? Ah, thank you. One person? The fuck happened? What happened to you guys? You know what I've realized about my community is you guys are lazy. You show up late and you don't tell friends that I'm here. How would you feel if you had a party and I showed up late and I told nobody else about how cool the party was? So the next time you threw a party, no one showed up. Do you ever think about that? You are fucking lazy, Christian B. Guys, we're about to have a sponsor pretty soon. I might have to like stop swearing. I might have to behave myself, but I'm not going to stop, to be honest. I'm not going to chill out because there's a lot of things that I got to talk to you guys about. Number one, well, you'll see. I'm bringing it up in the notes. It's going to be freaking tight. Keeping it real, can you explain who you are? Do you podcast? Do you I think you kind of DM'd me asking me to come on your show. And when I assumed you wanted me to come on your show, I assumed that you wanted me to join you. Oh, yeah. By the way, when I get this new sponsor, I'm not going to stop showing this, which we know is important. By the way, chicks getting dominated by horses. That stays, all right, guys? I'm laying my foot down. 2025, these don't leave. What's with you chicks and horses? Like, who would have thought that this was a good idea? And I love that she got bodied. So look at that spinal shape right there. It's kind of like a C. And then let's see here. I wish I could pause it. Oh, I can pause it. Wait. It's this. See that straight leg right there? That's straight into her spine, her butt crack and spine. Let's just go and find this Kipping It Real guy. Kipping It Real. Let's see if he's funny. It real? Okay. Skits. Let's look for one with like a lot of views. Okay, here we go. People entering their score apps like RX, are about her. All right. All right. Was I supposed to have sound on? Is this like you talking in your head? Training for a Hyrox. This is great. Oh. Oh. Dude, is that cum all over your pants? Hold on. Hold on. Anybody else see this? What's this? Listen, bud, this is the New Year's show. We're going to keep it real here. We're going to keep it fucking real. All right. I'm going back to opening up my show notes for you guys. Okay, that was the last one I got to with the horse. Oh! Did Hyrox just really log in here and say Happy New Year's to everybody seeing us in Vegas, or is that like a copy show? And dude, you don't got to tip us money, even though you are the first person to tip money in the new year. Let's go. We never get this kind of cash. We never get this kind of cash. I'm just saying, we never get this kind of cash. Oh, dude. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some more Zins. What else am I going to get, guys? Probably some coffee that doesn't taste like dog shit. Hyrox, I'll be seeing you in Vegas. I'm fast as a bolt of lightning. I'm actually faster than a bolt of lightning. I'm very excited about Vegas. I'm very excited. Gosh, while we're here, guys, supposedly isn't confirmed yet, but the tallest wave in history was surfed this week. Just like on the 26th or something, or the 23rd, this huge swell came across. You could see it here in Malibu, and it was just ripping and roaring, 108 feet. And I think the last one was like 87 feet in Nazar. And that's like off of Portugal. This was in Mavericks. I'm just telling you guys right now, it was local to California. You know California does it the best. Anything that's off the coast is literally a crack dungeon, but everything that's on the coast, let me tell you, this is where it's at. Record wave. I just want to be the first person to drop it on you guys. Another great sport that we should probably talk about, the undisputed pint balancer. This is probably getting more coverage than Hyrox does to this day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, dude, this is another huge one. You guys know I've been really just like hung up on GOAT stats lately. It's insane, some of the stats that I've been getting on Michael Jordan recently. And what is this? Oh, that's another heartthrob right there. Oh, what's that, guys? Might as well just drop this real quick. The King Conquer. I brought this up on the show earlier. The King Conquer, which is basically like a chestnut slamming festival. Clearly something that I'll do in my old age. This guy has been competing in the King of Conquers for 47 years, and supposedly they found him with an iron chestnut in his pocket that had been painted like a chestnut. And they disqualified him for cheating. And then after a rigorous amount of court hearings, they basically were throughout the case. He's the Conquer champion. You see that? See that under chin right there with balance and power? I'm just letting you guys know right now. That this is a court case that I can get behind. This and the Amber Heard case are literally my two favorite cases as of recent history. What up, Alpha Dog? Freaking creep. Alpha. Heidi, I would like to say that we could go on a date, but how do we find out what you look like? Heidi Kroom. Let's make a joke. Let's just make a Instagram judgment right now. Heidi Kroom. Interesting. Is this you? How are we supposed to know? Is this you? It's CrossFit level 1, I'm assuming. Dateable? Potentially? A lot of options here, guys. We got a single mom ready to go. Just going to say I cannot pass judgment right now. That would be unprofessional of me. Unprofessional. But since you guys did ask about Strava, how do I find out the end of year stats? By the way, I don't log like 90% of my stuff on Strava, but not 90, but a lot of it. You know, the apps that I use a lot of, like when I'm in the gym, I use Polar, and wow, I wasn't even trying, and I got third fastest up that. And okay, How do I find out those on the app? Well, that's a motherfucker. Let's just see. Is there any way on here that we can find out? Guys, you like this climb right here? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. You like these beautiful ladders that I build? It's almost like a little slope of gorgeousness. Look at that. Oh, you guys like it. This is a good week right here. What do we get? 21 hours? No fucking big deal. Next week, this is where I didn't log a lot of my data on my actual one. And this last week, I haven't really logged anything. Can't post comments in some destinations. Sick. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking smashed it. I did smash it. Some of the things I want to talk about with you guys is just like goals for New Year. So I think I told you this last year. This was my thing. And I thought a lot about this before I went out there. I'll write these goals out with you guys here. One was athletic domination. The other one was a builder empire. Then it was build a book, write a book, buy a supercar, and then buy your castle. I got all two of those done. And basically, I thought about it. It was so funny. Like I started the year out last year, and like the first thing I could think of was just, monetary stuff. And listen, I'm not like a very kind of spiritual person and all this stuff that's aligned with like, a higher power, but it was crazy. This New Year's, we hiked into the Deep Creek Hot Springs. So check this place out. It's fucking sweet. Boom. We went down to the Deep Creek Hot Springs, my buddy Brendan and I. It's awesome. They got these hot springs and like, these rock baths that are super nice. And basically, I get down there and it's actually not a busy New Year's. And we're there with these three guys that are basically homeless. They live in their cars and they, just are kind of vagabonds. They're amazing people, but they like don't have a really established life. They're always kind of working in and out of jobs and stuff like that. And I sat there all night long listening to a bunch of guys that have basically nothing, and they're kind of a little bit down on their luck, kind of like don't even care about their luck. And I think the biggest thing that I pulled out of there was that like money is just one of these kind of things that I so focused on last year, and now I just like really don't give a shit. I got to the point where I made a lot more money than I'd ever done before, and what came with making a lot more money was honestly a lot more problems. Like I had to tend to it. I had to tend to everything that was making me money. I had to basically I had this herd of people that I was always working with to manage partnership deals, deals for my companies, employees all the time. And at the end of the day, my number one goal, which was being an athlete, I completely lost track. I'll be honest, like guys, I started my career out where I was an athlete. I was so broke, my dad had to pay for my first 3 race entries. And then I got a contract from Spartan Race. They flew me down to Mexico, and then I was on my way. And I basically was always living on a couch or a bedroom that somebody had given to me, or basically had given to me really cheaply. And we used to live in Colorado on an air mattress with a SpongeBob blanket, and there was just I had nothing. I had nothing, and it wasn't until I was like 28 or so that I started to make money. But all of a sudden, I got to this point where I was like, it just kept on looking at numbers. Everything I did was just looking at numbers, and in part of the racing and in part of cash. And all of a sudden, uh, like it just became this thing where it drastically changed, where I cared so much less about the athletics and so much about the cash and the deals. Next thing you know, I had put myself in a position where I had almost forgot about the other half of what it was to be an athlete. And what I recognize about being an athlete is like, one, it takes an extreme amount of work. Like, you have to squeeze as fucking hard as you can. But then also, you have to rest as hard as you can. Like, that is such a big piece of the puzzle. And all last year, I allowed myself no rest. Like, as soon as world championships were done, which I was already fried from, I went on a tour all across Europe. So, and just to make more money. At the end of this year, I can honestly say I regret a lot of it. I mean, I don't regret the lesson, but I regret the fact that I allowed myself to go that deep down that rabbit's hole of just trying to work, 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 work. And I lost the thing that was most important to me because, I can make millions of dollars from the age of 40 until 100, but I'm never going to get these athletic years back. Each and every single one of these athletic years to me are worth 10, $20 million, 100%. So I think the biggest goal that I will say going into next year is really basically to need less, make more of what I have, and basically just focus on athletics in the way that I started it. I'm going to finish my athletic career the same exact way I got started. Like, I never got into Spartan racing to get cash. I wanted to be a world champion. That's all I cared about. Obviously there was not a lot of cash involved anyways, but like, I wanted to be a world champion. This is, if you look at this Spartan race world championship. This is the podium at Spartan Race World Championships. This is the world champion. This is second. I was third. Cody was fourth. Cody had won the year before. All I cared about was beating these two guys. This dude disappeared afterwards. He tried to come back and we just fucking smashed him all the time. I can't even remember his name. Australian. Great guy. That's all I cared about. I lived in above Joe's restaurant, and basically I would just eat food and then run in the mountains all day long. And I remember I had a CrossFit coach at the time, scummy CrossFit coach. I don't even need to mention his name. You can just understand that if he's involved with CrossFit, scumbag. And I remember I took a metal pipe that I had found inside like one of the construction areas, and I found these sheets of metal bar like this that were kind of thin that had holes in it, and I bent it over the metal pipe and I pounded nails in so that I could do pull-ups. Like, I had nothing to my name. And getting on this podium right here, it just even in third place I was leading the race. I lost, but just even being in third place was worth more than anything that I made last year. So much more. And that is one of my biggest lessons of the year. It's like, I'm just going to finish my career the same way I got started. I could care less about anything else. I'm grateful for the partners I have. I'm grateful for the businesses I have. I'm grateful for the fact that people want to be involved with what I'm doing. But first and foremost, I will say that I'm going to start this year off with a totally different attitude. And, I don't care about a supercar. I actually thought about it. I was like, dude, it'd be so nice to sell my cars and basically ride a bicycle all the time. It was nice backpacking this last week and literally just having a backpack, and that was it. I miss it so much. When I was living in Barcelona and I was just so poor, all I had was a backpack and sneakers. Fuck, it was nice. Also, buying my castle. I don't want a castle. I mean, I'm gonna have something eventually, but I'll just tell you, as soon as you get a castle, you recognize what it takes to run a castle. And that is another sense of freedom that I want to have. I want to have a little bit less. Almost everything that I wrote on this piece of paper, I almost want the reverse of. So that was an interesting lesson to go so far down that rabbit's hole and then basically reverse out. So one of the big lessons I will tell to people is just be careful about wanting to get something and like, do not give up what you have to get what you want, because there's so much on the other side of that hill that you just didn't look at. Like, you're like, it's so beautiful over there. Everything is so great. You get over there. Fuck, dude. The grass ain't as smooth and green on the other side. So just be aware of that. Maybe enjoy what you have a little bit longer. So, yeah, we'll get into the show notes in a second here. Hunter, are you planning on delegating or outsourcing more of your company roles? Yes, to a degree. I'm definitely going to continue to run my businesses, but I'm going to be a lot different about it. Like, I'm not going to allow myself to get to this point. One thing I recognize is there's this bullshit word called scaling. Don't listen to anybody about the fucking word scaling. And 99.99999% of people that think that they know what scaling is, and there's professionals out there, guess what? Got your company started, it was you, and you have to stay on top of it. You got to be really careful with what you do, bring people inside of your environment. And next thing you know, you're just basically somebody who's just having a lot of fucking meetings and not a lot's getting done. I will tell you that. Done with that shit. I can sell the hell out of some little Debbies. You think that's bad, Hunter? We used to live in a cardboard box with a septic tank. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Yeah, dude, you should miss the good old days of Spartan Race. Those were so sick. Typical Yorkshire man. Nobody knows what you're talking about, dude. British people, I've just recognized after spending so much time with British people, one, you guys are astoundingly lazy. Astoundingly lazy. Two, you guys think that you deserve to have everything given to you. You do. I mean, Christ almighty. You guys used to be cool hundreds of years ago, but now you are run by an ancestral royal family, and I don't know what else you guys do. I can't really think of a lot of things that the British do these days that I'm like, man, that's cool. Gosh, I got to get me some of that. You fucking Brits. Doing no 75 hard again this year? No, 75 no hard? God, I got to get back to 75 no hard. Do you guys remember that? Where we were like not supposed to swear or get laid for 75 days? That didn't last at all. I had like a girlfriend 2 weeks into it. Dude, these nose strips, I'm not going to lie, are like crack. They are like crack. I can't decide which one's the best, but I'm going to go do a high rock simulation after this. And I am telling you right now, like, I will not do the high rock sim without it on. So, yeah, it's not happening. 75 hard as a married man. God, I wish I was married and I could pull off 75 no hard. That'd be sick. That'd be the ultimate insult to your wife. You're like, babe, I was talking to this guy on the internet. He told me about 75 no hard. We're not shagging for 2.5 months. What do we want to talk about here? We already did this. Keeping it real. You know what? I got to say, this one's crazy. I don't know if this is true, but basically, this is the story. Let me get his real name. Top of the ninth, Indian pitcher Ray Caldwell. This dude supposedly got struck by a bolt of lightning, was incapacitated, and then got up and then pitched the rest of the game. This is what athletes used to be like, and now you've got all these pussies in the NIL and all these other guys just begging to just get paid so much cash to do their sports. I think professional athletes these days are the worst examples of human beings. I'm not going to lie. Like major people. I mean, I don't even think you should use me as a great example of a human being a lot of the time. But this Ray Caldwell guy getting struck by a bolt of lightning and then wanting to finish the game, that's an athlete. That's an athlete who's playing for the sport. And, today, if like a raindrop hit a baseball player the wrong way, he'd probably sue the baseball field. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately just because I've been doing so much research for this sport, like for this podcast. Like I end up not bringing a lot of these notes on because I just see these athletes. Just you hear about these NIL contracts, you hear about these contracts in general, and the shit that they put up, they're just bums. But this right here, guys, is a second story about a real athlete that I appreciate. You know, I like it when sports get a little bit physical. This is a cornhole championship. Boom. Pegs the guy straight out into the field, full gas. I'm just going to let you know right now, if you're going to have me watching your sport and you're not throwing knuckles, you're a bum. These are the athletes we need to celebrate. Just saying. Best trail and fell runners come from England. That's not true at all, except for John Albin. I mean, this guy used to smoke us. Oops. He used to smoke us in certain races in Spartan race. This guy is from the UK, and he's probably the second best like trail runner in the world right now. But saying that the best fell runners come from England, you're probably wrong. Let's see what's the stats on it. I mean, dude, he won so many Spartan races. Look at adventure racing. Look at all of the Spartan races that he's won. I mean, higher OCR races that he's won. Just insane. So 2014 to 2019 basically made a run undefeated. You couldn't beat him. You couldn't beat him at all. He was just so quick. When you got into Spartan Race World Championships, you could get him, and in certain Spartan races, you could get him. But I mean, dude, look at this bronze. He was on the podium basically every single year. He won almost all of the European championships. He was just too fast. He was way too fast. It was crazy. Time you could really get John is if they had built a course that had more heavy stuff. Like I beat John a couple times in my career, but that was it. I mean, it was just insane. But a lot of good trail runners from the UK. Yeah, there's some good trail runners. Some bums too, dude. I would say that the word nootropics and cordyceps, I trust cordyceps more than nootropics. Nootropics are for bums. They really are. Oof, what's wrong with my neck? Something's wrong with my neck, boys. Something's wrong. What else are we going to talk about here? You know, this has nothing to do with racing or anything, but two dudes went to go find Sasquatch in the woods and then they died. So letting you guys know that Sasquatch might be there. They were located. They had a bunch of volunteers out there. They were looking for the dudes, but they eventually found them, a 59-year-old and a 37-year-old. Like, I'm around that age. So you just got to be careful. Just got to be careful. Listen, Chinese Olympians. Whoops. So this is where cordyceps were being used for performances, but cordyceps gained world attention in 1993 when a Chinese female runner achieved records in the 1,500, 3,000 meter, and 10,000 meter events. Their coach attributed their success in dieting to cordyceps. Now, was this just a cover up for the fact that they were doping like crazy? Probably. But I will say, like in Chinese medicine and in performance, like cordyceps have been around for a while. They have. So you gotta, I don't know, man. It's hard. Like I would really love to tell you guys that I have some kind of like secret. The only things that I'm taking right now with regularity is pre-power, which is beta alanine caffeine, strength X2, which is citrulline and creatine, and our hydration blend. And by the way, we're running this New Year's, guys. You guys can get all pre-power all sent. What do you guys do all the time? Getting yourself some of that juicy pre-power. You just go add to bag. But this is basically like all I take. Hand on my heart. Other than that, US Shilajit. Let's see here. Shilajit. This is the only other thing that I take. Where is it? Hobie Call. I don't know how to spell it. Hobie Call. I take this. This is awesome. I love Hobie. You guys should support him. Blood health, mineral health. I'm on this stuff. And I'm on like a sleep blend of magnesiums and stuff. So I honestly think it's a solid deal. But there's not anything else I take, guys. Like really, I cannot tell you anything else that I'm super pumped about right now. Is it best to take creatine after lifting sessions or cardio sessions? So let's go back. So let's hop into this camp right here. Products. So, boom. What you guys want to do is every single day you're getting a baseline of 5,000 milligrams of creatine. This is from Strength X2. Citrulline is another blood flow enhancer, which is really, really important for things like Hyrox when you're doing all of this like very, very high level, high output stuff. It's going to increase your guys' recovery and also performance, like, you know, with the high rep stuff. So you don't kind of get that kind of super pump in your legs. Because of the way we designed our product, you should take this before your training. Regular creatine, they've shown you can just take it almost any time of day. The other thing that I'll say to you guys is that you should really, really focus on while you're training. For every hour of training, you're going to be taking about a half scoop of creatine. Like you should be taking up to 10 grams of creatine a day if you're a multiple hour a day athlete. It's just your body metabolizes through it, especially the bigger that you are. It's important. So yeah, you guys got to get on that stuff. Shilajit, I will just say that it gives me savage hard-ons all the time. It's crazy. It's like a love potion. It's like Shilajit was originally found in the mountains of Pakistan around the Himalayas, and like love doctors, like let's just say that Daily Graham couldn't keep it up. It's like me and the boys would go up there and go extract some Shilajit, and then we'd cook it down and we'd give it to him so he could keep his lady happy. I think vitamin D during the winter time is an important thing, but you have to make sure that you're taking like really like something that's soluble, because sometimes you have to just be careful about some of the products that you're taking that are not so digestible. Mike Sauce, I have no clue what you're talking about with a code, but if you're not taking Builder, you're a bum. That's what I found out. That's what I basically found out. If you guys want to know probably your best resources for this, I would go here. Well, I don't know where pillar. Let's just find here. You do take Builder every day. That's right. That's right, dude. And that's why you got that sick body, Grayson. Got that hard body. Discount code for what, Mike? This is where I'd probably go to get my this is where I would go to get things like the magnesium and other like multi-level vitamins and stuff. This is a good company. This is a good company. Yeah. No bigs. What else we got in here? I don't know about that. Oh, this dude just gets me pumped all the time. He's just a genius. This dude who didn't know how to speak French went and won the French championships by memorizing the French dictionary, and then he just did the same exact thing at the Spanish dictionary. Like, you got to know that this dude is such a fucking genius. That's such a badass way to approach playing Scrabble in different countries. You can't even speak their language, and the dude just goes beast mode, absolute beast mode on people who actually speak the language by memorizing the dictionary. Like, I'm probably going to buy a Scrabble board and a Monopoly board so I can start playing over the next couple weeks up here in the mountains. But God, I love this guy. I mean, if you got beat by this guy in Scrabble, you know you deserve to get beat by him. Like, look at the thickness of his glasses. Such a flex. Such a flex. I wonder how many babes he picks up. I'm not going to lie. If I was there and I was a babe, he could get me. I'd straight up get got. Oh, love seeing girls get their ass kicked by horses. Okay. We're going to finish off with this. I will say that the people from the UK, the Brits, Irish, Scottish, you dude have a way of life that I do appreciate, which is just the pub life. Look at the eyes of these dudes just settling in on this homie doing the pint balancing championships. Homeboy goes down, sponsored by Adidas, obviously. Look at that tight fitting shirt. Getting up, completely perfect balance. You got to admit that's pretty freaking awesome. Look at this stud, dude. Shows up in a sports jacket. This dude's pumped. That's got to be his homie. Yeah. You guys, between like the knick-knack championships and stuff that we were showing earlier, I'm not going to lie, guys. These guys crush our podcast. I don't see you guys showing a lot of love to our podcast in comparison to these guys. This dude's got 11,757 likes on one stat, on one post. Like, fuck. This is just basically showing how much more dominant Michael Jordan is. Look at this. He's only fifth in one thing, and he's first in every single other thing. As far as performances in playoffs, scoring titles, MVPs, all that kind of stuff. It's savage. It's savage. It's savage. It's savage. So it's just settled, guys. Michael Jordan makes LeBron James look a little boy. I'm tired of you guys even trying to dispute this thing. MJ never went to the finals without a top 75 player. What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean? You talking shit, Tyler? You trying to get punched? I just don't even know how it's a conversation. Stairmaster for 1 hour a week for Hyrox training? Yes. Who told you that, Z Jost? What kind of plan is that? LeBron, the baby's overall score due to time of sport. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to tell you guys this inspiring story or show you this inspiring story. You don't love your brother like this, then he's not your brother. I did this for my brother once when we were younger. But basically, Fedor watched his brother get his ass kicked by this other guy, this guy Mirko Cro Cop. And then he came back and fought Mirko Cro Cop himself and just beat the fuck out of him. That right there is so solid. You got to be a homie. You got to be a homie. You got to throw down for your brother. I felt like tingles up and down my back and neck because when I was younger, this homie smashed my brother when we were at the Westchester Country Club, and I saw a rope on the ground. I whipped it out of the sand, and I whipped that bitch. I whipped him, and the kid ran off crying to his parents. Obviously, I got in trouble, but do I care? No, because that moment's going to live forever in my mind and that kid's mind. So I basically am the same thing as Fedor. Just letting you guys know. LeBron has taken more sorry teams to the finals while Jordan barely made it through the playoffs before Rodman and Pippen. Listen, I'm just going to say, like, who gives a shit what you have to say, Tyler? The stats are there. Nobody cares about this conjecture, this BS, this hogwash that you're pitching. It's about performances and stats, not all this, well, he had all these other better players and Pippen and Rodman. It's a team sport, you bum. Listen, I don't want to hear this nonsense. Like, these teams are so massive, especially the Lakers, and especially, dude, when he was playing at Miami, when he developed things in Miami, they had all the money in the world to add the people. You know that team was pumped up. You know that things were going on when he was playing in Ohio was pumped up. And then he was at the Lakers, probably the biggest of all of the teams when it comes to having cash. You're just one of those bums who likes to sit on the couch and just talk stats about sports without actually even playing them. You don't know shit. God, it's disappointing to have you in this chat right now. Is Alanine better than citrulline? Well, they don't do the same thing. They don't. They do not do the same thing. Dude, Tyler, you're a virgin. You just got smoked. You just got smoked, dude. Dang. Dude, you just got smoked so hard. God, that hurts. It's gotta hurt. What's up, boys? Listen, we did it. We talked about it. We set our goals. You guys can see me in Vegas coming up January 31st. It's going to be real. It's going to be fast. So I got big plans coming up of being a speed demon. I'm pretty disappointed we didn't break 100 today. Just goes to show that you guys got no heart. You could have invited your friends. But you didn't. No, I'm not running with Sandy. I don't even think Sandy's coming. I don't even know who's coming to this major. So I'll stand by Braun. See y'all in Vegas. Dude, Tyler, you're getting jumped in the parking lot, bro. There's an amount of people that are on this show right now. When they see you there, you're going to get dragged behind some dirty old cars and you're going to get beat up. Because I'm just letting you know right now, I'm probably going to call Michael Jordan and say that Tyler is in the parking lot. He's going to fly in his jet. He's going to just give you the worst titty twister of your life, dude. You won't even have tits anymore. So, dude, I wish Morningwood Radio would make a comeback, but we need to bring back in, dude, just because you said you grew up in San Bernardino is not something to brag about. San Bernardino is basically cow fields that got turned into somewhat gang territory. It's not a bragging right. Listen, we need to bring Ryan back. I want to definitely bring some co-hosts on the show, but listen, There's a lot of work to be done. And one thing I can tell you guys right now, I'll show up for you. I have to find a good co-host this year. That would be nice. That'd be another goal is to bring some people on. Like I tried to bring Tracy on today. Tracy, total bum. He bailed. Just gonna let you guys know that I'm basically the only one who's here for you. So that's why I've got this like live stream set up. It's nice. It's cush. I'm registered, trying to figure out flights and stay. Who knows what the hell that means? San Bernardino plays for Brazil football team. What the fuck does that mean? Dude, Tracy got a boyfriend. Tracy got a boyfriend. I say this all the time. These girls, you see them on the internet posting all this kind of stuff like, yeah, like I'm here to adventure, like I just want to see the world and like do stuff and like I'm like all about like inner strength and personal development. And then they get a boyfriend and they take that business plan, they take gasoline and a torch to it and they burn it to the ground. Every single time I see these girls go through this like independent state of their life, that's just because they don't have a boyfriend. That's because they don't have a boyfriend. Every single time I see a chick, they're all high on this cloud of independence and spiritual journey and strength. It's because they don't have a boyfriend. They got to sing this song until they get a boyfriend, and then they disappear, gone with the wind, gone. So anytime you guys find a chick that's on that mission and saying it, I would take a couple steps back because that person's there like a butterfly. They're there for a while. But then the next gust of wind, aka boyfriend, they gone. They gone, baby. Dude, I love Alexander Krellin. That dude's a legend. That's why every chick says until they meet someone. Yeah, dude, you get it, dude. I love how this is just an all dude show today. That's what gets me so pumped about the morning. The boys show up. Let's just see if Savon's on here. Let's go to YouTube real quick. YouTube. Okay, we're gonna go to the Savon show. He's live right now. Dude, he's got 228 people watching. We got 90. You guys suck. Heidi bailed for Savon's show, which makes no sense. That's why nobody's dating Heidi, because she's spending all this time around her daddy, Savon. Let's just throw some hate in here. Let's make fun of Savon. Works at a coffee shop, not because he likes coffee, just likes he. And look at that. Not even. I do need it. Um. I'm gonna have to catch you guys later. I got to get ready. I'm not coming back to Tennessee. Has prices, and every dude, ridiculous. Like every single dude look Morgan kicked out of my own show. I don't know what the heck just happened. This thing. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm going to leave before this goes back.